Everybody gathered around Barney after he finished his prayer, shook his hand, told him they missed him, told him they loved him, looked forward to seeing him again next week, and he left. They let him leave early instead of having to fight the traffic to get out of the chapel area. The next week, Barney did not come back to service, and by the next week, he was dead. And that following week, when I learned that he was dead, I preached his funeral there for the men in prison. And it was a combination of Barney's story that I've just told you and saying goodbye temporarily to someone who had done something so very, very heroic. Barney felt like his life had been a waste. And there at the end, he became a testimony to these other Christians who were incarcerated and to me, and I hope to you too. When God says there is nothing that can separate you from my love, what God means is there is nothing that can separate you from my love. We all make horrible, terrible decisions, and Barney made his share. We hurt people. We hurt ourselves. We're like a wild animal that's caught in a trap, lashing out at anybody that walks by and chewing off our own leg when we're hurt. And then God humbles us and tells us, I just want to love you. I just want to forgive you. I just want you to know there's a place for you at my table. I want you to know you are free to come into the throne room of God and crawl upon His lap and ask Him for anything at all that you want. These are some of the sentiments that Barney and I talked about in his hospital room just 3 weeks before he died. Of all my children, of all my spiritual children, he was the first one to go on and to wait for his reward. And he went to his death knowing that one of the last things that he did on earth was pleasing to God. The simple act of getting together with other Christians and worshiping and singing and praying and fellowshipping and taking communion and listening to a lesson and all of that. And he lives as a testimony and an example in my life of the kind of faith I need to have.